Well, worst case, we can just slide right through a stop sign.
We've seen a lot of people out here, like you said, running, sledding, just enjoying it. One thing, oops.
This is a public service announcement interrupting your regularly scheduled program. Sorry, but not sorry for the interruption. I am co-host Ayush Karadia.
And I'm the better co-host, Aditi Rai.
No one cares. Anyways, this is an important public service announcement on photovoltaic energy, technology, and solar energy.
It is imperative that you learn the truth about photovoltaics, also known as PV cells, to know whether or not it's best for you. Let's see what the public already knows about photovoltaic energy generation.
So, do you know what photovoltaic energy is? Say, I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
That's good.
I don't know.
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 It's embarrassing to see no one know anything.
Girl, I know.
Anyways, we're here to educate you on what photovoltaics are, since clearly no one knows.
Hi, my name is Tom, and I'm here with Jerry. First, we need to understand the parts of the PV cell. PV cells are made of semiconductor material. That material is almost always going to be silicone. There are added impurities that either create a surplus of electrons, which is called N-type doping, or a surplus in electron holes, which is known as P-type doping. There is a space between the electrical field for currents to travel upon.
Hey guys, it's Jerry, and I'm going to explain more on what Tom was talking about, since he doesn't know what he's talking about. PV cells allow for the direct conversion of photons from the sun into direct electrical potential energy through a physical process called the photovoltaic effect, or process. The photovoltaic effect is basically when photons hit PV cells. The semiconductor absorbs photon energy, and the absorbed photons then knock electrons off silicon atoms within the PV cells. And these said electrons can then move freely, creating an electrical current. These currents are going to have different charges so that they're going to repel and move to either side of the cell, and this creates voltage. The direct current can then be sent to other devices.
We hope that helps y'all.
So let's move on.
Oh wow, such a nice presentation. Anyways, time to move on, girl. So it's very important to know where photovoltaic energy and technology comes from.
First and foremost, in order for photovoltaics to absorb photon energy, there needs to be a presence of light, which means there needs to be the sun in order for energy to be generated. There are no harmful implications of sunlight for energy generation, as it allows for the placement of PV cells anywhere around the globe. But it would be the most advantageous to place these PV cells in solar farms, where there's places that have less precipitation and longer periods of sunlight.
Solar photovoltaic energy also utilizes a crystalline silicon cell structure to make energy generation and absorption more efficient. But the main factor is silicon, which is a semiconductor for PV cells. A semiconductor is a material that has conductive properties between conductors and insulators. In order for PV cells to use the silicon, Cecilia has to be mined from Cecilia sands. This has implications on plants and their processes, which is photosynthesis and respiration.
Based on a geographical standpoint, the leading producer on photovoltaic technology is China. But why do we use photovoltaics, you might ask? Well, from a local standpoint, they're used to generate energy for people's homes, appliances, and buildings. The overall use of PV cells is to generate electricity in order to be more sustainable and more environmentally friendly.
This can also be set on a national and global level. However, countries utilize what is known as a solar farm. These help generate electricity for homes, cities, farms, and even government buildings to avoid the expense and environmental implications of fossil fuels.
There are also a couple different ways that we utilize the electrical energy that is produced. There's direct currents that allow electricity to charge batteries and allow the batteries to store said electricity. And with an inverter, this direct current can be changed to an alternating current, which powers houses, appliances, and allow for outlets to live. The use of energy that we receive from photovoltaics is universal, which is electrical energy production. However, there's a difference between the uses of directly using the energy and indirectly using it. Directly using the energy acquired from photovoltaic technology...
Miss Girl, you already said that.
Okay.
Y'all, it's Tom again. So basically, direct currents are stored in capacitors, and they can be used to charge batteries like this one.
Hey guys, it's Jerry again, and I'm going to continue to talk to you about these currents. So basically, these direct currents can be changed to alternating currents via an inverter and can be stored in a breaker box, which controls electricity flow when certain appliances aren't in use, like this one, and this one, and this.
The efficiency of photovoltaics is not fixed. There are several factors that can lead to the increase or decrease in efficiency.
Sun's photons are usually absorbed or deflected in the atmosphere before reaching the Earth's surface, which decreases efficiency because less protons are absorbed. But, like, Loki would die if these weren't deflected in the atmosphere.
She means haki, you would die. Obtaining the photons is not always guaranteed because sometimes they can pass through or reflect off of the PV cells instead of being absorbed, which decreases in efficiency.
Lastly, some electron-hole pairs recombine before carrying the charges to the end of the cell, which means that electric currents cannot move within the cell.
But PV cells create energy from a renewable source, and there are new and innovative ways that are being created and increase efficiency, like focusing lenses and coating mirrors that reflect unabsorbed photons.
There are many pros
And many cons.
to PV cells.
So let's look at some of them.
Ew.
Hey y'all, it's Tom again. Based on the economic standpoint, energy production is far cheaper through PV cells than fossil fuels and would save homeowners and anyone who pays the electric bill a lot of money.
But the installation and creation of PV technology is expensive, and it's more difficult for countries lower on the demographic transition model to acquire the technology.
Get the heck out.
Based on environmental effects, the energy generation from photovoltaics is very clean, with no carbon emissions and no implications on habitats and forests. But the creation of cells themselves are less environmentally friendly. Factories that manufacture this technology use pyrokinetic properties, which lead to carbon emissions, and mining for silicon leads to implications on plants. Also, finding places to create solar farms are challenging, and it can lead to the loss of biodiversity, habitat loss, and deforestation.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Looking at practicality, there is no need for regular maintenance with photovoltaics, but solar panels can be large and cover a large area of land. There is also the issue of silicone. Although it is cheap and abundant, it is not the most energy efficient. Solar panels are also extremely ugly.
That's it for Jerry.
And that's it for Tom.
Let's not forget about the carbon footprint. Even though PV cells have one, the implication is not drastic because it does not cause environmental alarm compared to fossil fuels, which I know some of y'all use.
Based on what we told you, do you think photovoltaics are a good means of generating electricity for people's needs? Well, we don't care about your opinion, but we believe that photovoltaics are a good means of generating electricity based on geography.
If an area has more direct sunlight, using PV cells would be a more cleaner and efficient way to go because there's enough energy being outputted. But with geographic locations that have more sporadic climates, the efficiency is not guaranteed because PV cells are entirely based on the amount of sunlight that is inputted.
As of now, more needs to be done to help underdeveloped countries obtain resources to live in PV cells, especially geographically advantaged countries, and it would help the progression of society and the betterment of resources.
Period. Here is a presentation to demonstrate our stance.
This presentation is brought to you by our sponsors.
Okay, that's it.
Thank you guys for listening, and let's get back to your regularly scheduled program.
Bye, y'all.
No.
Cedric the Entertainer. We're coming right back.